A significant event recently took place in American politics. Elon Musk, who is a very famous and wealthy businessman, sent out a powerful message. He posted his thoughts on his social media platform, X. This message was a serious threat. It was aimed at specific people in the government. These people are Republican lawmakers. They serve in the United States Congress and the Senate. They are considering giving their support to a new law. This law is a very large bill that comes from President Trump. Elon Musk strongly disagrees with this proposed bill. He believes it will be too costly for the country. He thinks it could cause a large increase in the national debt. Musk feels that the lawmakers who say they want to reduce spending should not vote for this bill. Because he feels so strongly, he made a promise. He said he would use his considerable amount of money. He wants to support other individuals who decide to run against these Republican lawmakers in future elections. His stated goal is to help these lawmakers lose their positions in government. He even said he would do this no matter what it cost him. Issuing such a direct political threat is highly unusual for a private person, even one as well known as Elon Musk. He is known around the world and has vast financial resources. This statement is seen as a major turning point. It clearly shows the potential influence that great wealth and a large social media following can have on the political process. This dramatic action by Musk signals a new, significant moment in American politics. It highlights a deep conflict over a key piece of legislation and reveals a very public disagreement involving powerful figures. The timing of this threat, during a time when the Senate was actively considering the bill, made it even more impactful. This event sets the stage for future developments in this ongoing political story. 2. A very big bill. The new bill is called the One Big Beautiful Bill Act. This is a very large plan for the United States. It costs a very large amount of money. Many people are worried about how much it costs. Experts say it could add trillions of dollars to the money the country owes. This is called the national debt. Some analysis shows it could add around $4 trillion. But if some temporary parts stay, the cost could go up to $5 trillion over the next 10 years. This is a very big increase in the national debt. The bill has many different parts. One important part is about taxes. It wants to make tax cuts from 2017 permanent. These tax cuts were planned to end, but the bill wants them to continue. It also includes new tax plans, like not taxing money people get from tips or when they work extra hours. These tax changes are a big part of the bill's cost. Another large part of the bill is for the country's military. It plans to give about $144 billion more to defense. This money will be used for things like building ships, improving Air Force planes, and making better missile defense systems. Border security is also a key part of the bill. It gives about $79 billion for this. A significant amount of this money, about $50 billion, is planned for building walls and making the border safer. The bill also changes some things about clean energy. It plans to remove tax credits that help people buy electric cars. These credits make electric cars cheaper. Taking them away means people might pay more. The bill plans to remove about $191 billion in help for electric cars and other clean energy projects over 10 years. This shows the bill covers many areas and has a very big cost. 3. Musk's New Job. After the 2024 election finished, things looked very positive for Elon Musk and Donald Trump. They had developed a friendly and cooperative relationship. Musk had shown strong support for Trump during the election time. He used a significant amount of his personal wealth to help. Records indicate he spent approximately $277 million to support Trump and various other politicians from the same political party. This substantial financial support and the developing relationship led to a new and important opportunity for Musk. Trump offered him a special position within the government. This job was to be the head of a newly created office. It was officially named the Department of Government Efficiency. People often referred to it by its shorter, memorable name, DOGE. The primary purpose and goal of this new department were clearly defined. It was established with the mission to discover and implement ways for the government to reduce its spending. Musk's specific task was to examine different government agencies and programs. He needed to identify areas where money was being used poorly, wasted, or where savings could be made more efficiently. It was a very large and complex job, and Musk applied the business methods and expertise he had gained from leading his many companies. He used advanced tools, including artificial intelligence and data analysis, to help him study the large amounts of government spending information. Musk publicly stated that his department had found many specific places where significant amounts of money could be saved. He estimated these potential savings were in the billions of dollars. Many political observers and people who believed the government should be smaller and spend less were very pleased with this new initiative and Musk's reported findings. They saw Musk and Trump working together as a positive sign, showing a commitment to fiscal responsibility. It genuinely seemed at first like they were a unified and effective team, focused on improving how the government operated and decreasing the financial burden on the country. Their initial period working together on this government efficiency project was widely seen as promising and constructive. However, this period of good cooperation and positive outlook did not continue indefinitely. A significant change occurred later. Information about a very large and new piece of legislation began to become public. This new law involved plans for a massive amount of government spending. Its overall approach to government finances seemed very different, almost opposite to the goal of finding ways to save money, which was Musk's specific job. The high cost associated with this new law presented a major conflict with the idea of reducing government expenses. When Musk learned the detailed plans and costs of this expensive new law, it created a substantial problem for his position and fundamentally changed his relationship with Trump. This major disagreement about the direction of government spending, highlighted by the new law, marked the beginning of the end for their time working well together on the government efficiency project. 4. The Big Fight. The good time for Elon Musk and Donald Trump did not last. Their friendship started to change in June of 2025. The reason for this big change was the new bill from President Trump. This bill was very large. It planned to spend a lot of government money. It would make the government debt bigger, maybe by trillions of dollars. Musk did not like this bill at all. He thought it was a very, very bad plan. He used very strong words to say the bill was terrible. He wrote about his feelings on his social media platform, X, for everyone to see. He said the bill was completely against the idea of saving government money. This was exactly the job President Trump had given him, to find ways to make the government more efficient and save money. So the bill went against his work. President Trump saw things differently. He did not agree with Musk's strong words. Trump said that Musk was only angry because the new bill would stop government money for electric cars. This money, called tax credits, helped people buy electric cars and helped Musk's company, Tesla, sell more cars. Trump believed Musk cared more about his own business and making money for Tesla than about the country's money problems or the goals of the new bill. Because they disagreed so strongly about the bill, Musk and Trump started to argue in public. They used social media to show their different ideas and feelings. They said mean things about each other in their posts. The fight became very big and public. People all over the country could read their arguments online. This big fight had a big result. Because of this fight and his strong feelings that the bill was wrong, Elon Musk decided to leave his job in the government. He had been leading a group to find ways to save government money, but the new bill planned to spend a huge amount, doing the opposite of his job's goal. So he left the job. Their public argument showed a problem between them. It showed that they had very different ideas about how the government should spend money. Musk was very worried about the big government debt the bill would create. He felt the government should spend less, not more. Trump, however, thought the bill was good for tax cuts, defense, and border security, even with the high cost. The stopping of government money for electric cars in the bill was a main reason for the fight. Musk thought it was bad for his business and for the country's plans for clean energy. Trump thought it was stopping money the government did not need to spend. This part of the bill made some people think if Musk's strong words were really for the country or for his company. The fight on social media was a very big thing. It was a public break between two important people. It ended their work together and their friendship. From this moment, the connection between Elon Musk and President Trump was gone. The disagreement over the big bill ended their relationship. Many people were surprised by this, as they seemed like they worked well together before. This public argument showed they had very different ideas on money and government spending. The break was finished. 5. A serious threat. Musk's words were a very serious threat. People saw them and knew he meant what he said. How could they be sure? Because Elon Musk is one of the wealthiest people in the entire world. He has a lot of money, much more than $200 billion. In the 2024 election, he already used a large amount of his money to help different politicians. This showed that he was willing to spend big money on politics. So, when he said he would use his money to make politicians lose their jobs, it was a promise he had the power to keep. His wealth made his threat very real. The timing of his threat was also very important. It came when the United States Senate was having a long meeting that would last many hours. This meeting is called a vote-a-rama. During a vote-a-rama, senators vote on many different ideas for changing a bill. It is a time when senators are thinking hard about the bill and how they will vote on the final version. This specific vote-a-rama was about the big bill that President Trump wanted. By making his threat during this critical time, Musk wanted to directly influence the senators who were still deciding. He wanted them to know that supporting the bill could cost them their job later. Musk did not just threaten generally. He named specific politicians he planned to target. He wrote messages directly to Representative Andy Harris, who is in charge of a group called the House Freedom Caucus. Andy Harris is from the state of Maryland. Musk also named Representative Chip Roy, who is a member of the same group and is from Texas. Musk asked them how they could vote for a bill that would add so much money to the country's debt. He said it was a bad vote and they should feel bad about it. By naming them, he put direct pressure on these specific people. He also said he would help a different politician, Representative Thomas Massie. Thomas Massie is from Kentucky. He had voted against the big bill when the House of Representatives voted on it earlier. Musk said he would support Massie because Massie voted the way Musk thought was right. This showed his plan clearly. He would use his money to support people who agreed with him and fight people who did not agree, especially those who supported the bill. This was a serious moment because a private person was using his money and influence to try and change what politicians were doing in the government. 6. A big problem for the party. Musk's threat caused big political problems for the president's party. This threat could make the party split into different groups. Some members support the president and his new bill. Other members agree with Musk about the bill's high cost and its effect on the country's money problems. The party does not have many extra votes in Congress. In both the House and the Senate, the party has only a few more members than the other major party. This is called having a narrow majority. Because the majority is narrow, a small number of people can make a very big difference when it is time to vote on laws. If only a few members of the president's party change their minds and vote against the bill might not pass at all. Musk's threat is important here. He said clearly that he would use his large amount of money to support people who want to run against these lawmakers in future elections. These elections are called primary elections. In a primary election, people from the same party vote to choose who will be their candidate for the main election. If a lawmaker loses the primary election, they lose their chance to keep their job in Congress in the next main election. Musk has a lot of money. He is one of the richest people in the world. He also has a big platform on social media where he can talk to millions of people directly. His threat to fund challengers is a real and serious danger for the lawmakers who vote for the bill. They must think carefully about their vote. They might worry a lot about losing their next election because of Musk's actions against them. This problem is very important for the next big elections across the country, which will be in 2026. These are called the midterm elections. If Musk spends a lot of money to support people running against members of the president's party, it could make it much harder for the party to keep control of seats in Congress. It could even cause the party to lose their narrow majority. Some people inside the president's party are unhappy with what Musk is doing. They think he should not use his money and influence this way to threaten elected officials. But they also know that Musk has a lot of power because he has so much money and can talk to so many voters through social media. His message can reach many people very quickly. The fight between Musk and the president's supporters shows there are different ideas inside the party itself. Some members believe strongly in spending less government money and reducing the national debt, like Musk says is important. Others support the president's plans and spending priorities, even if they are very expensive and add a lot to the debt. This whole situation puts difficult pressure on the lawmakers in Congress. They have to decide if they will vote for the president's bill to support their party's leader, or if they will listen to Musk's warning and risk upsetting the president. It shows how money and powerful private people can affect politics in a big way. It changes the balance between the people who are elected to represent others in government and the people who have a lot of wealth and can use it politically. The president's political party faces a difficult time and a big problem because of this fight. 7. Why they are angry. The big disagreement between Elon Musk and President Trump happened because of the new bill. People watched the fight and wondered why these two important figures were so angry with each other. There were two main reasons for this big problem. First, Musk and others were very worried about the country's money situation. The new bill was very big and planned to spend a lot of government money. Experts said it would add trillions of dollars to the national debt. The national debt is the total money the government owes because it spends more money than it collects from taxes. Musk had often said publicly that the government must spend much less money to be financially healthy. He thought this huge debt was a very bad thing and a danger for the future of the country and its people. Adding so much money to the debt was the opposite of what he believed about how the government should manage its money. Second, the bill had a part about electric cars that was also very important. It planned to stop giving money help, called a tax credit, to people who buy electric cars. For many years, the government had given people money back when they bought an electric car made in the country. This help made electric cars less expensive for everyday people to buy. Companies like Tesla, which Elon Musk is in charge of, make and sell many electric cars. Tesla is one of the biggest electric car companies in the world. If people stop getting this money help, it could make buying electric cars much harder and more expensive. This would directly affect Musk's business because it could mean fewer sales for Tesla and less money for the company. So the bill seemed bad for Musk for these two different reasons. He said loudly that he was angry about the very large national debt it would create for the country, which he claimed to care deeply about. But the bill would also directly hurt his own car company by ending the financial help for electric car buyers. Because the bill was clearly bad for his company's money, many people started to ask a big question. They asked if Musk was truly angry only about the national debt problem and the country's future, or was his anger mainly because the bill would cost his own business money and make things much harder for Tesla? People wondered if his very public fight was really for the good of the whole country, or if he was mainly trying to protect his personal business interests and make sure his company stayed strong. This question about his real reasons was a very important part of the disagreement and the big fight that happened. It made people think hard about why a very rich person was using his power and social media to fight against a new law in this way. The fact that the bill hurt his business made some people doubt his stated reasons about the national debt and made the situation more complex. What happens next? The story we have followed shows a big and new problem in American politics. It started with Elon Musk, a very rich person, making a public threat on his social media platform. He is very angry about a large new bill from President Trump. This bill is expensive and changes many things in the country. Musk said he would use his money to help people run in elections against the Republican politicians who support this bill. This threat is very important because Musk has a lot of money, perhaps enough to make politicians lose their jobs in the next elections. This situation tells us important things about modern politics in America. It shows how much influence huge amounts of money can have. When one person has billions of dollars, they can use it in big ways to try and change politics. It also shows the growing power of social media. Musk used his own social media page, which millions of people see, to make his threat very public. This lets rich and famous people speak directly to voters and put pressure on elected officials in new ways. What happens next is not easy to know. The future of the big bill is not clear right now. Will enough Republican politicians be afraid of Musk's money and influence? Will they change their vote and stop the bill from passing? This is a big question being asked in Washington and around the country. This fight is also very important for the Republican Party. It shows a big disagreement inside the party itself. There are different ideas about government spending, taxes, and the country's future direction. This public conflict, started by Musk's threat, could cause serious problems for the party in future elections, and make it harder for different groups within the party to work together. The effects of this conflict will likely last for a long time in American politics. It represents a new kind of challenge where huge personal wealth meets political action and public communication through social media. The real test of how much this event matters will come in the elections in 2026. Will the voters listen to Musk's message and follow his lead? Will they vote differently because of his threat against certain politicians? The results of those elections will show if a billionaire's public anger and money can really change who is elected and how the government works. This is something important for everyone to watch in the future of American politics. Now, we want to hear from you, the reader or listener. Do you think a billionaire's money should be able to influence politics this directly by threatening to remove politicians from their jobs? Let us know what you think in the comments below this video or story.
Hey there! Just a second before you go. If you learned something new today, please give this video a like, write your thoughts in the comments, and subscribe to the channel. It only takes a second, and it really, really helps to create even better English videos for you. Your support means the world. Thank you.